Goodness gracious. This special is like what, an hour and 24, basically an hour and a half. I did not expect there to be 3 parts. So let's get straight on to this. I don't know what day this is going to be posted, but thank you guys for staying with me this long. I know this is like 3 different episodes, or if you're on Patreon, this is like a whole hour and a half, but we're getting to it. Without further ado, let's get straight on into it. All right, let's get going in 3, 2, 1, and go.
進撃の巨人の力で見た未来のためだってことは分かってるけどさ、どうしても僕をボコボコにしなきゃいけなかった理由って。
This is when they were at the bar area, and he tried to convince them, like saying that he hated Mikasa.
あれは僕じゃなくミカサに言うべきだよ。
Yeah.
あんなデタラメ言って傷つけて。
So, you mean all this time Armin knew that this was going to happen? That's why he was so adamant to believe Aaron's not the bad guy.
この世で最も敬意を表される存在になるはずだ。
Really? This was your plan all along?
巨人大戦後
Make them
の
respected?
みたいに壁外人類の報復からパラディ島を守れっていうの。残念だけど、僕もみんなも君の思い通りに英雄を演じるつもりはないよ。
You guys end up doing it anyways. You guys have no other choice.
歩きながら話そう。始祖ユミルの話を。
You mean at this young age, Armin was just introduced to all of this knowledge?
これが炎の水ってやつか。
Okay, what the freak is this? There's no way they went to a volcano, let alone survive that close to lava.
始祖ユミルが2000年間フリッツ王に従い続けているから、巨人の力が今も存在するって、一体何が彼女をそうさせたのかな。
Swear if you say love.
始祖ユミルはフリッツ王を。
Gosh, dang it. Nah. Ow. That can't be true.
始祖ユミルの心の奥深くまで理解することはできない。でも彼女が苦しんでいたことは確かだ。苦しみから解放してくれる誰かを求め続け、ついに現れた。それがミカサだ。
え？
ミカサって
言ったよ。やっぱり聞いてなかったが。
Apparently I wasn't either.
なんでミカサなの？
始祖ユミルにしかわからねえよ。俺もまだミカサが何をするのかわからない。
Is it the cutting the head?
それが勲章授与式で見た未来。
ハルミ。
Dang, just all that.
俺は頭がめちゃくちゃになってしまった。
I mean, I wouldn't even
その
doubt
力
it.
がもたらす影響には過去も未来もない。
Yeah. Oh my
同時に
god.
存在する。あの日、あの時、ベルトルトはまだ死ぬべきじゃなかった。だから
You sent the Smiley Titan to kill your mom.
向かわせたの。
Well, freakity doodah, freakity day.
エレンのことを忘れて誰かと幸せに生きていけると思う？
Oh, absolutely
君が
not.
望んだ通りに。
Absolutely not.
わかんね
Deserved?
ミカサの恋心を無限にしたことはどう思ってるんだ？命がけでずっとエレンだけを見てきたミカサに。
え。やだ。そんなのやだ。ミカサに男ができるなんて。一生俺だけを思っててほしい。
But you
俺
can't.
が死んだ後もしばらく10年以上は引きずっててほしい。死にたくねえ。
エレン、諦めずに探そう。他の道がないか。
ダメ
I
だ。
yeah, there's no other way.
俺と同じでみんな死にたくなかったはずだ。
You can see the future, my guy. No, there better not be people. Yeah, that's a whole mess of people. Sea of blood.
人類の8割を踏み殺した。
なんで？
俺は文字通り壁外人類の根絶を完遂しようとしてお前たちに阻止される。その結果が8割。
It's meant to
お前
be.
たちが救える人類は2割までだ。もう決まっている。
決まっている。
Yep.
自分で決めて自分で殺したんだろ。
It's so hard to like talk about past and present and future.
俺は自由の奴隷だ。
バカなことを。残された教訓は殺すか殺されるか、それだけだよ。全ては僕たちのためにやったっていうのか。
I mean,
エレン、お前の名前だ。 いや、俺は平らにしたかったんだ。この景色が見たかった。
That's a crazy person reason.
なんでかわからねえけど。
I don't know
やりたか
why.
ったんだ。
Crazy. That's hair.
ではお前らを守るためだって思ってた。だが、サシャもハンジさんも俺のせいで死んで、やっとわかった。バカだからだ。
No, not because you're an idiot, because you're crazy.
これは僕たちがやったことだ。だからこれからはずっと一緒だね。
That means you're just gonna die.
あればだけど地獄で8割の人類を殺した罪を受けて苦しむんだ。
80% is a lot.
ここで過ごした記憶は消すが、
Oh,
全てが終わった時にまた思い
it's
出
erasing
した。
his memory.
次は
And once it all over, you get the memory back?
ずっと一緒だ。
Dang, and he just got all this memory.
は治ったの。思い出した。これはアルミ。
Don't tell me you have the head. Okay, you have the head. And that's what Mikasa did. Or Mikasa did. Freak.
アルミンも記憶が戻ったんでしょう。
Did he do the same thing to you?
ミカサがもたらした選択の結果が巨人の力をこの世から消し去ることになるって。
Wait, Connie and Gabi got turned back? And John?
律儀なクソバカ野郎め。エレン、お前ってやつは。
Crazy.
エレンがよ、母ちゃんも人に戻るって言ってたんだ。
Oh, you mean she's just hanging out in Parody now?
私たちに長生きしろって。
私もお話したかったな。
Was she the only one not getting a chat with him? I mean, that would make sense, but
見ていてくれたか。
does that mean you're about to die?
結末らしい。
If you could see them?
捧げた心臓の。
It's like the first time we see him cry. Oh, probably still hungry. Heck yeah.
カズ
The background.
鎧の
Not the armor timing. Oh, so you guys just lost all of it.
これ以上何もいらなかったんだよ。
Heck yeah. Thank you, Mom, for saying that.
エレンはいつもあそこで居眠りしてた。
Under the tree.
いい場所だと思う。
聞いてくれ、ミュラー長官。エレン・イエーガーは死んだ。巨人の力もこの世から消えた。もう我々はただの人だ。
Oh, please believe him. I mean, Aaron did say that conflict was still gonna happen.
頼む。
Uh,
証明してくれ。
start biting your thumbs,
人か。
Rhina.
こちらが未だ巨人の力を有しているなら力を使って抵抗するでしょう。ですが銃口を向けられた今も無力なままであることは。
君は
I'm the best.
あなただったのね。ずっと私の頭の中を覗いていたのはあなたの愛は長い悪夢だったと思う。おやすみなさい、ユミル。
So Ymir was the one that was helping me. Well, obviously Ymir wanted Mikasa to do something, and this was, you know, but still. Farmer, I want to see your eyes right now. Farmer, I want to see your eyes.
戦いと呼ばれたあの日から3年、途方もない数の命が奪われ、生き残った人々の癒えぬ傷跡に苦しまれていることでしょう。海の向こう側で生き残った人類の報復を恐れて、島は一丸となり声を上げます。勝てば生きる、負ければ死ぬ。戦わなければ勝てない。戦え、戦え。エレンは知る限りの未来を私に伝えました。きっとこの結果はエレンだけの選択ではありません。私たちの選択がもたらした結果がこの世界なの
Okay,
です。
yes.
私たちは戦わなくてはなりません。これ以上戦わないために、この
巨人のいない世界を。
何度見てもヒストリアの筆跡は美しいな。
Why you sniffing? Why are you sniffing?
前の寿命が伸びて残念だよ、ライナ。
Oh, okay. So since they're not Titans anymore, they can live now, like forever.
本当にうまくいくと思う。私はこの辺りで撃沈されてもびっくりしないと思う。
True.
ああ、まだ船が浮いてるとはな。
またこうして地獄に向かってることが答えさ。調査兵団は夢見がちで諦めの悪い連中だから。
私は憲兵だけど。
とりあえずまだ殺されないさ。
Just adding it in there.
そのすべてを話そう。
And let's hope they believe you. Okay.
もうすぐみんなが会いに来るよ。
Yeah.
嬉しいでしょ。
Okay, it hasn't been 10 years yet, so she can't get over him yet.
あなたに会いたい。
Goodness gracious. Ooh, that tree almost looks like the path.
マフラーを巻いてくれて
Mm.
ありがとう。
Oh my gosh. Okay, this ending was an ending. It was very. I thought it was good. I thought it was very good. I could definitely see a lot of people like not liking it. But hold on, I kind of want to like wait until all these pictures. Ooh, they brought the cars to parody. Oh, Mikasa. She still had the scarf. Oh my goodness. Humanity? What's happening? We're in Chrono Trigger? I mean, that life form. Oh my goodness gracious. Listen, when you get into the realm of time traveling, right? I mean, technically this doesn't have to do with time traveling, but it has to do with going the past, present, and future becoming on the same axis. It is very confusing, right? You could try to explain this, right? I already know there's going to be several YouTube videos being like, ending of Attack on Titan explained, because it needs to be explained. There's not, like, you have to go through this several times and like write down like, oh, what could this be? What could this be? Because like this special has given us so many like, oh, what the freak moments. I didn't think it had any more to give us, but like in this final part, starting off the bat, we get this scene, like several scenes obviously, between Eren and Armin, which basically Eren as a kid explaining the visions, or I guess you could say visions, the visions that he gets when he kisses Historia's hand. And he basically, as a child, is explaining this whole sequence of events that is going to be happening, right? Him taking control of the king's powers, right? Him stomping 80% of humanity. Him basically being this ultra menace to the world, so much so that when Armin and the rest of them beat him, they're looked to as heroes, kind of like the Tybar families. And Eren, on one hand, I feel bad for Eren, because like what he had to go through, like how crazy your mind would have to be when you get this power that lets you travel between your past self and your future self, knowing what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and knowing that no matter what you do, past or present, it is not going to change the future. And I think I just thought of this, so I don't know if this is going to be true or not, but I think personally for me, if I knew that the future was set in stone, that there would be nothing that you could do present or past wise that could change the future, that to me feels kind of restraining, right? That to me does not feel free, right? Doesn't give you that sense of freedom at all, right? You are chained to, I can't think of it, but you're just basically chained to that outcome. So I find it very interesting that the guy that was very into being free or trying to be free is chained to this future that cannot be changed. And when I was watching this, I was like, okay, he's telling Armin all of this. Why didn't Armin like mention this to anybody else? But then we get that sentence of Eren saying like, hey, after I'm done talking to you with this, I'm gonna erase your memories, and you will only get this memory back once everything is done. So to me, it makes sense as to why Armin always had this feeling that Eren wasn't actually telling the truth when Eren was pretending to be the bad guy, right? Back when everyone was against Eren, saying like he's the bad guy, Armin was the guy that was like, oh, there has to be some sort of like other reasoning, right? He was always sort of in Eren's corner. And I think it's because he was told all this information, but memory wise, it was wiped, but he could still feel it in his like heart or in his soul, spirit, whatever. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does in my head. But again, on the other hand, I don't feel bad for Eren because he does some things and he says some things that I'm like, you're a crazy person, which again, I understand, because if you had this idea of past, present, and future all mixed up in your head, you can tend to go crazy. But the fact still stands that you are crazy. Therefore, when you do crazy things like, oh, I wanted to crush 80% of humanity just to have a good view, very hard to like root for you, or not root for you, but like stand in your corner. And then we find out later on that this conversation between Eren and Armin was not just with Armin. Like Eren has had this conversation with literally everybody else except Peak. Peak was kind of like left out of the situation, and I'm guessing Zeke too. But everybody else, Eren had conversations too, and then he wiped the memories only to allow him to get those memories back after he was dead and gone. Darn, he has blue eyes. Gosh darn it. The reason I say that is because this girl, the daughter of Historia, I know it's a crazy idea, and I could be completely wrong in this idea. I'm just saying, could this have been Eren's kid? The reason why the whole reason why I wanted to like make it work is because in the last part, as soon as Eren died, they went to a brief scene of Historia giving birth to this kid. So there's that sense of reincarnation-esque. Not saying that like this is Eren in this kid form, but there's a sense of I guess just reincarnation in a sense of like when one dies, another begins. And a couple minutes before all of this, we were told that like, hey, Eren talked to all of his past friends and eventually wiped their memories of the conversations they had. So, I mean, yes, you could convince me to believe that Eren and Historia had a thing, and Eren wiped her memories of him, only to have it come back maybe later, or maybe not come back at all, right? So you could actually, let's go back to when he was a kid. No, even though he was a kid, he still has blue eyes. So I could be completely wrong, right? But I would like to believe there was, but I mean, someone can convince me that Historia birth scene could have just been not anything about Eren and more about Ymir and having her like bloodlined kind of be within those two scenes. Now with this, I'm a little hesitant about, a little confused about. I understand that both these people had a sense of love when it came to people who were kind of like into a war scenario. And both of them were very adamant to stay by their side no matter how crazy they became. So I believe that there's a sense of like cut from the same cloth when it came to these two people. And I know Ymir was saying, oh, Mikasa does something that she wants her to do. So Eren was basically setting up everything so that whatever Mikasa has to do gets done. So Mikasa taking Eren's head off was probably the ultimate thing, or the last thing that Ymir needed done in order to like fully enact her plan. With everybody else, they are going back to Paradis to talk about what exactly happened. Obviously there's a couple, like I think it's a couple years after all this has happened. So Paradis has already kind of taken advantage of like the whole Jaegerist regime and is turning into this superpower. So we don't know exactly what happens to them in the future. We do know that Eren is buried underneath this tree, which very resembles the path reality, whatever you want to call it. And Mikasa dies and is buried with him as well. And then we see time fly and gets to this like very futuristic world in which war comes in again, because war never changes, and this place gets blasted into smithereens. Which leads us to these two people, this person and his dog. Who they are, I have no idea. But they end up at this point, which very well like resembles Ymir getting to this point. So we could start this cycle all over again. I'm not sure. I don't know how much of humanity is left, but crazy. Just a real quick wrap up. Attack on Titan to me is a crazy show, and it will be a show that I would love to tell people about who love like The Walking Dead, who love, let's say, like Game of Thrones in a sense, just basically people who love characters dying like out of nowhere, you know, like that kind of gruesome-esque. It does seem like it goes into left field when it comes to season 4, but to me, I accepted the change. I like the change. I do feel like season 1 was a little bit more gory and like made your stomach churn a little bit more than the rest of the seasons, though I could blame that to me being kind of accustomed to how Attack on Titan worked and not accustomed to it when I was watching season 1. So I mean, I could forgive that maybe, but I could definitely see people not liking season 4 as much as the rest of the seasons, and they could basically look at season 4 kind of like the last season of Game of Thrones, not to the as much extreme, but I could see people being like, oh, season 4 kind of ruined Attack on Titan, but to me, I thought season 4 was great. I thought when it comes to the seasons, I don't know what to put first. It's been a while since I've seen season 1, so I would like to put season 1 up at number 1, and then maybe season 3, then season 4, then season 2. I definitely know season 2 to me was like the weakest. The only reason why I'm putting season 1 up to number 1 is just because of nostalgia factor and like the whole like craziness of, oh my gosh, all this is happening. Season 3, the retake of Shigangshiga was probably the why I put it up so high. And season 4 just lands in third spot because of how hyped season 3 was. But if I go back and watch season 1, I could have season 1 to the number 3 slot, and then have season 3 and then season 4 up in the number 2 spot. But yeah, all in all, Attack on Titan is fantastic. But anyways, that was my reaction to Attack on Titan. If you like my reaction, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys want me to know anything more, put a comment section down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.